Okay, I got the taste of that Sam Adams cherry wheat out of my mouth, and we're moving on to a beer that I'm anticipating a little more about reviewing. Another beer coming to us from Deschutes, Bend, Oregon. I mean, the beers that I've reviewed so far by Deschutes, I think I've only reviewed two of them. Their Mirror Pond and their Black Butte, I guess, their porter, and both of them were spectacular beers. Now I understand this beer that I'm reviewing and the next beer from Deschutes I'll be reviewing aren't quite as highly renowned. However, still looking forward to trying both of them. This one is Chainbreaker White IPA. It's a Belgian IPA, as a matter of fact. And I believe I have done Belgian IPAs before. Not positive, but I think I have. Of course I have, from Omegang and some other Belgian IPAs as well. What am I talking about? This is a 5.6% Belgian IPA. It gets an 83 on Beer Advocate, which is good. It gets an 87 on Rate Beer, which is good as well. So it's one of those rare occurrences where the Rate Beer rating is above the Beer Advocate rating. And one of the cool things about Deschutes' website is they actually have recipes for, beers that you can or recipes for food that you can make with the beer, which a lot of breweries do, I will say. But something that it's got to be unique to Deschutes, unless there's another brewery that I'm not really thinking of that does it. Deschutes actually on their website, the Deschutes website. Now this is a brewery that makes their own beers, obviously, but they have homebrew recipes of all their beers. Like, they tell you how to make their beers yourself, which is to me is incredible that they do that, because I don't know any brewery that actually says, hey, you want to make Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA? Here's how you can do it at home. They don't do that. Deschutes, I think, is unique in that category. This beer is brewed with wheat and Pilsner malt, citrus aromas from the Cascade and Citra that meld with the esters of Belgian yeast. The malts they use are Pilsner wheat and unmalted wheat. The hops are Bravo, Citra, Centennial, and Cascade. And they use sweet orange and coriander in this as well. So very interestingly crafted Belgian IPA. White IPA. Chainbreaker White IPA. And I guess this is referring to this bike. Bike is breaking the chains. Makes me want to move to the Pacific Northwest, an area of the world I have never been. Country I've never been. I've been to a lot of places in this country, but not to the Pacific Northwest. Wow, this is a white IPA. Look how cloudy, almost like a wit beer kind of look to this beer. That's amazing. That's the most wit beer looking IPA I've ever seen in my life. That is just an incredible. Look at the cloudiness on this IPA. Nice head, about a finger or so, I would say. So let's get the aroma now of Deschutes Chainbreaker White IPA. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you what. This is that quintessential Belgian IPA kind of feel. Aroma, rather. Yeah, I'm getting a very dank citrus, not piney and effervescent like a lot of the West Coast IPAs are. This is a West Coast IPA. However, it's a Belgian, so Belgians are not going to be quite as citrusy and quite as tangy and aroma heavy as their American counterparts. Yeah, this is definitely a more subtle IPA, which is exactly what Belgians should be. So let's get the taste now of Deschutes Chainbreaker. Yeah, I'm getting the same thing out of the taste. It's almost lemony, almost getting a wit beer kind of taste from this. Hops are prevalent, but just very wheaty, very a wheaty IPA here, which I guess is where the white IPA part goes. It's almost like a mixture of a wit beer and an IPA. So maybe that's what they were going for in this. Maybe that's why they call it a white IPA. That could be the reason. And if that was what they're going for, they really nailed it pretty well. It's a sessionable beer. It's not the most taste-heavy beer. At first, you get the lemony, citrusy kind of taste, and then the hoppiness kind of takes over in the middle of the throat, and then it goes down pretty smoothly. Definitely getting the coriander. I can definitely, now that I'm reading that the coriander, although I did mention it before, that the coriander is in this beer, that I'm kind of tasting the coriander. Maybe a hint of the orange as well. But yeah, I am getting a hint of the orange now that I'm kind of tasting the aftertaste in this. So very citrusy kind of IPA, if that's your kind of thing. I think Deschutes did a good job, and for the style, they definitely kind of hit the mark. And if they're trying to look kind of cross like a wit beer with a IPA, they kind of did what they set out to do. That said, I'm going to go ahead and give Deschutes Chainbreaker Wet IPA 7.5 out of 10. It's not hitting a home run with me. Just not quite as full of a taste as I would really love from this style to knock it out of the ballpark. It's a good, decent looking beer. Looks more like a wit beer than anything. The aroma, just not quite hitting it on all levels. A little subtle. I know Belgian IPAs are supposed to be subtle, but it's a little too subtle. And the taste is just not completely full as well. But a decent job with the style, I would say. That's why I give Deschutes Chainbreaker Wet IPA 7.5 out of 10. Thanks.